They are laws designed to take down criminals, but sometimes they turn innocent men and women into victims. We're talking about when police seize cash and property they suspect are proceeds from a crime.
Yeah, tonight, 7 investigator Ross Jones digs into some cases where cops appear to have gone too far.
It really set my whole life behind. You know, financially, mentally, you know, I'm crying, like, am I going to go to prison for this?
Lena Bergen remembers the drive all too well. On an afternoon in January, the 30-year-old mother was heading home with her 11-year-old son when, in the mirror, she saw police lights flashing.
Never in a million years would I thought I'd get pulled over for an air freshener hanging from my mirror.
But she was, and soon 2 Westland police officers told her to step out of her vehicle. Bergen told them she had drugs in the car, marijuana and pills. That's all they needed to hear. Using state forfeiture laws, cops were allowed to seize Bergen's car and the money found in her wallet because they believed they came from selling drugs. The laws have been on the books for decades, designed to crack down on criminals like drug dealers.
Are you a drug dealer?
Not at all.
What are you?
I'm a cancer patient.
For the last 8 years, Lena Bergen has battled 4 kinds of cancer. Today, she is stage 4, with doctors giving her a year to live. She has a valid state license to use medical marijuana and offered to show an officer this signed application from her doctor.
I kept expressing to him, like, I'm a medical patient. I'm in my final stages. You know, I'm not doing anything illegal.
Bergen's car and money were seized by police, and she was hit with drug charges.
That's one of the more outrageous cases. I mean, that's somebody who's truly innocent.
Attorney William Mays has helped people like Lena Bergen get their property back from police. He says that in an era of deep budget cuts, some departments depend on forfeitures to make up the difference.
There's really no cap on what they can use this money for anymore. It is policing for profit.
Last year, police reported seizing more than $24 million in cash and property from Michigan residents suspected of criminal activity. Police and prosecutors keep much of what's seized, using it to pay for personnel or equipment costs. And they could keep some of what they take for their own use. Sterling Heights PD kept a slew of flat-screen TVs it seized, and in Highland Park, you'll find the chief driving around in a Cadillac Escalade seized in a drug bust. The vast majority of people whose property is seized by police are guilty of some sort of criminal behavior, but plenty are not. In fact, some are never even charged with a crime.
They're doing this to a lot of people.
Michael Dula lives in Toledo, but on a night more than a year ago, he and a date were driving up to Detroit for dinner. While heading through Taylor, police pulled him over for crossing the yellow line. When they learned his license was suspended, cops searched him and his car and found nearly $6,000 in cash. They seized it, saying they also saw marijuana residue. Dula denies there were any drugs, and he was never charged with a drug crime.
So you weren't accused of anything, but your money, they had decided, was guilty.
Period. My money didn't stand a chance.
Did you get a penny of that money from drugs?
Not a dollar, not a cent, from jeans.
It's from jeans.
And from jeans. That's what I do. I sell jeans.
He sells them on the internet, jeans, shirts, and other clothing from the high-end brand True Religion. Dula says he's only paid in cash and uses it to buy new clothing. Receipts show he spends at least $1,000 a visit, always paying in cash. But cops didn't ask where he got the money or what it was for, Dula says. They just took it. He's been fighting the Wayne County prosecutor for nearly a year and a half to get it returned. Wednesday, it finally was.
They're taking millions from people, hard-working people.
Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard is an advocate for reforming the state's forfeiture laws. He says that while they're vital to thwarting criminal activity, more measures should be taken to ensure that innocent people don't become victims. Right now, cops only need to meet a low burden of proof called a preponderance of evidence to take someone's property. Bouchard says the standard should be higher.
If you can't prove a clear and convincing direct nexus to criminal activity, it shouldn't be taken.
And today there's legislation in Lansing that could make those changes. It's moving through the House right now. If change ever does come, it'll be too late to help Lena Bergen. After a 4-month ordeal, all the drug charges against her were dismissed last week. She was given back her car and money, but it still cost her plenty. An $800 towing fee that won't be returned, and time she can't get back.
My days are numbered. You took from my family because you didn't want to take the time to read a piece of paper that says, hey, yes, she can have this.
If you believe your money or property was improperly seized by police, we'd like to hear from you. You can contact me directly by email at rjones@wxyz.com. I'm Ross Jones, 7 Action News.
Wow, thank you much, Ross. At least some people are getting some justice behind it. Well,